Hello, welcome. Good morning. This is Varnish Vidit. It's in the third series of concentration and focus. I would like to add some more ideas which are going to be helpful to understand how to develop concentration and how to focus more on goals and objectives. Till this video, I have already discussed certain steps. The first step was set clear goals. Second is motivation is inspiring, it inspires. And the next is assess your perceptions and then filter to focus. That was the last step I was talking about. Yes, an expert is one who develops these filters to focus. And when these filters are developed, then a brain becomes automatically it comes in such a position to differentiate or distinguish between important and unimportant or essential and irrelevant information. We all come across lots of situations in our daily life where we do so many things automatically without thinking twice. We do them so naturally that is just because of practice. We know how to do them, so we just do. But if you want to make a child tie the laces or ride a bicycle, one who doesn't know how to ride a bicycle, it's a very, very difficult task because there is no practice. You do these all things so perfectly, but a child cannot. So first you have to make the child sit on the saddle and hold the handlebars and then pedal. Falls, stands, tries. So after so many trials and after so many tries, a child starts making the balance and bicycle is ridden. But once the child learns how to ride a bicycle, it's just a matter of practice. How long the practice is and how well the practice is, it all matters here. And then next time when the child knows how to ride a bicycle, he just brings the cycle out, sits on the saddle and holds the handlebars and pedals and goes zoom. Same thing happens to doctors. Doctors, they just by looking at the patient, with little observations and little diagnosis, they tell you what is actually the problem. This is also just their long practice. They have been doing the same thing, but they are not in a position to tell us how they do it. But they do it. They know. Like a car mechanic who can even from the sound of the engine can tell you if there is any problem with the engine or not. It reminds me of a small story rather. It is a bit irrelevant but an interesting story. And according to the story, once there was a rich merchant and a rich businessman. He wanted to have his self-portrait drawn. So he hired the most eminent and a popular artist of the city. So on the prescribed day, the artist came and started sketching him. So for a couple of days, or rather for a few more days, he continued with the work. And after 3 or 4 days, when the portrait was finished, the merchant or the businessman, he asked for the charges. The painter said that he would send the bill. After a couple of days, a post came to the office of the businessman, and when he opened it, there was the bill or there was the charges written, and that was sent by the artist, by the painter, and it was a whooping amount. The amount was $10,000 or $10,000. He was shocked. Means just for a couple of days and few hours, the painter was asking for $10,000, $10,000. It was too much. So he called for a painter, and the painter came and he explained the situation that it was too much, and this much he paid to his senior most managers for the whole month. The painter said, I'm not asking for these 2 days. I'm not asking for those few hours. I'm asking for what I learned throughout my life to do in those 2 hours, in those couple of days. I'm asking for the practice I put in for my whole life to understand how to make the strokes and where to make the strokes and how strong or weak the stroke should be to create a best portrait. So, it is a matter of practice that makes you perfect, and how well is your practice, that's very important. So, it is just a matter of practice how to focus. Once you understand it, you start focusing. After this, the next step is you need to optimize your intake. Means whatever the information you're taking, your brain is perceiving and you're executing it into actions, you can optimize it. So you need to understand how to optimize your perceptions and how to optimize your perceiving ability to make the better conclusion and better decision about the things you want to analyze or you want to focus or concentrate on. So this we can understand with the help of an example. Suppose you want to attend a seminar, and seminar is very important because the issue which is going to be discussed in the seminar is very important for your course of study or for your career. So when you go and attend, first of all, you must be very, very attentive and alert. And if there are certain things which are complicated and you feel that you won't be able to remember forever, you must keep a pen and paper or a diary or a notepad along with you where you can jot down the important notes wherever they are important. After this, be a critical listener. Don't become a passive listener. Most of the people, they remain passive listeners. They don't raise their questions. Their curiosity is not there, whatever they're listening to. So be very critical to whatever you're listening and do not hesitate from asking a question wherever you're having any doubt. Because when you ask questions, you bring a clarity in your concept. When the concept is clear, you perceive it better and you keep it retained for a longer period of time. Otherwise, it is a chance that you may get it obliterated very soon from your brain. Next thing is, as soon as the seminar is over and you come out, try to search more on the subject immediately. There are lots of other things which are available. There's lots of information already available, maybe on the internet or maybe in the books. So whatever relevant, try to relate with it so that your information would get more optimized. Or any of the friends of yours who is an expert on the issue or subject, discuss with him or her and have a proper counter questioning on the topic. So in this way, you can optimize your intake of the information and you can polish your idea in a better manner and you can enrich your vision and you can have better concentration and focus. After this, next thing that you can do, always try to play with your strengths. Yes, different people have different kind of strengths. We are always having our senses ready to perceive the information from the surroundings, and this information can come in different ways to different people. According to scientists, we perceive the things, or we have perception in three ways. Either we can have the perception through our auditory sense, or we can have through visual sense, or maybe through haptic sense. Visual means where eyes are involved, and auditory means where ears are involved, and haptic means where we have a sense of touch. Means by the sense of touch, we realize or we understand things. Different people have different abilities. Some people have very strong auditory power, auditory sense. Some people have very, very strong visual sense, and some people have haptic sense. So which sense is strong? You can also test with a simple test or simple experiment you can do in your real life, and that is you can ask anybody to select 10 words and any 10 words, and they must be written, and then they should be shown to you, and when you look at those for 10 seconds, and after that the page is removed, and then you have to recollect how many words you can recollect. Make a count of it. Second thing, pick 10 other words and write them down somewhere, and then tell somebody to read them loudly for you. Means instead of looking at them, you have to listen to them, and after listening for 10 seconds to those words, then they are removed and they are kept aside, and then you have to recollect how many words you recollect. Make a count of that also. And in the third, make beautiful drawings and means something very attractive with 10 words, and then you have to look at those drawings, and then same way. Now after that end of the test, you should count, means where you found the maximum words remembered, whether it is through your sense of vision or sense of hearing or sense of feeling. So whatever is the highest, that is your strength. Means if you have the highest number of count for the words to be remembered through your vision, means through your eyes, so your visual perception is better than your other two perceptions, and same is the case with the other perceptions also. Now you should try to use your visual perception to the highest. Like suppose you want to learn a new language, you want to learn something, especially the language, so start watching if your visual strength is better, if your visual perception is better, so watch the videos, you will understand better. But if your auditory sense is better, then listen. Listen to the things, listen to people, or listen about their subject, you will understand better. But if you're haptic, means you understand the concepts in a beautiful diagrams and pictures, then take in the form of illustration, and you can develop your concentration and you can grab the ideas in a better manner. I will continue on the same topic in the coming video also. Till then, goodbye, take care, see you.